Before the world asks anything from you this morning, notice how quickly your energy reaches outward toward the message, the answer, the sign, the result, the thing you hope will finally make you feel secure. Notice how the mind begins searching before the heart has even had a chance to breathe. Notice the tiny ache beneath the reaching, the quiet feeling that something outside of you must arrive before you can relax. And before you judge that part of yourself, let it be seen with tenderness. You have not been needy. You have been longing to feel safe in a life that has asked you to be strong for so long. You have been trying to gather proof that good things can still come to you, that your prayers are not disappearing into the air, that your desires are not foolish for still living inside your chest. So take this moment slowly. Let your shoulders soften, even if only a little. Let the morning meet you before you rush to meet the world. Something in you already knows that the way you begin the day changes the way you carry yourself through it. Your heart already knows this. Your body already recognizes it. You may have been calling it ambition, hope, or faith, but some mornings it has quietly felt like chasing. Chasing the person who has not answered. Chasing the opportunity that has not opened. Chasing the version of yourself you thought you would be by now. Chasing certainty, approval, timing, money, love, clarity, beauty, peace. And all the while, a softer part of you has been whispering, "Please, come back to me first." This is important to hear. Magnetism is not the energy of a person who is desperate to be chosen. Magnetism is the energy of a person who remembers, even gently, that they are already worthy before anything arrives. It is not arrogance. It is not pretending that you do not care. It is not denying your desire, or acting as though life has not hurt you. It is the quiet inner shift where you stop standing outside your own life, begging to be allowed in. Have you noticed how different you feel on the mornings when you begin with fear? The body tightens before the day has even unfolded. The mind runs ahead, imagining problems that are not yet here. The heart becomes guarded, not because it wants to close, but because it is tired of disappointment. And from that place, even beautiful things can feel far away, because your energy is bracing instead of receiving. You are not broken for this. You learned to brace because something in your past taught you that waiting could hurt. You learned to overthink because being surprised by pain once made you believe you had to predict everything. You learned to chase because somewhere along the way, love or security seemed to come only when you worked very hard to earn it. Let that settle for a moment. There is nothing shameful here. There is only a part of you that has been trying to protect your heart. And yet, protection is not the same as magnetism. Survival has its own intelligence, and we can honor it. But the life you are calling in now is asking for a different inner posture. Not tense, not frantic, not constantly proving, more like a window opening in the early light, more like soil becoming ready for rain, more like your own spirit saying, I am here, I am available, I am willing to receive what is aligned with love. What if becoming magnetic has very little to do with pulling harder and everything to do with no longer abandoning yourself? What if the thing you want is not asking you to become more anxious, more perfect, more impressive, or more pleasing? What if it is asking you to become more honest, more rooted, more receptive, more in friendship with your own soul? This is where so much manifestation teaching becomes confusing. It can make you believe that desire is something you must perform correctly. Say this phrase enough times, visualize with enough force, raise your vibration without ever admitting you are tired. Smile over the wound, cover fear with prettier words, and for a little while, this may create excitement. But excitement without safety does not last. The body knows when an affirmation is being used as pressure. Your body knows the difference between words that punish you and words that bring you home. It knows the difference between saying, I am magnetic, while secretly believing you are unworthy, and saying, I am willing to remember my worth today, one breath at a time. The first may sound powerful, but the second changes the room inside you. Somewhere deep inside, you have always known that your energy responds to how you treat yourself in private. The way you speak to yourself while brushing your teeth. The way you look at your face in the mirror before the world sees it. The way you respond to your own mistakes. The way you hold your desires without turning them into evidence that something is missing from you. This is the morning work. Not forcing life to obey you, but becoming a loving place for life to meet you. There is a moment in the morning, before the mind becomes crowded, when your inner world is still soft enough to receive a new instruction. This moment may only last a few seconds. It may happen before your feet touch the floor, before the phone lights up, before yesterday's worries return with their familiar voices. In that small space, your soul is listening. Your nervous system is listening. Your future self is listening. And what you say there matters. Not because words are magic spells that control every outcome, but because words can train your attention, and attention is one of the most sacred forces you have. When you place your attention on lack, the whole day begins to organize around what is missing. When you place your attention on worth, the day begins to show you where you are already supported, where you can act with clarity, where you can receive without shrinking. So perhaps this morning, instead of waking up and asking, where is it? Why has it not come? What am I doing wrong? You could ask something kinder. How can I meet myself with love before I meet the world? What would I believe about myself if I trusted that life was still working with me? What is one small choice today that would match the person I am becoming? Feel the breath moving through your chest as you hear that. Not a forced breath, not a perfect breath, just the simple proof that life is still entering you. Even before the desire arrives, life is entering you. Even before the answer becomes visible, life is moving through you. Even before the result changes, your relationship with yourself can change, and that is where magnetism begins. The first magnetic shift is not saying, "I want," but remembering, "I am already worthy of receiving." There is nothing wrong with wanting. Desire is not the enemy of peace. Desire is often a sacred direction, a small inner flame showing you where growth, joy, expression, intimacy, creativity, or expansion is calling. But when desire becomes a measure of your worth, it starts to hurt. When you believe you are incomplete until it arrives, you place your life on hold. Your heart was never meant to live in a waiting room. It was meant to live in today, in this breath, in the small sacred choices that remind you that you are not abandoned. When you say, "I am already worthy of receiving," you are not telling life that you no longer care. You are telling your nervous system that it does not have to panic to be loved. You are telling your body that wanting can be peaceful. You are telling your energy that it can open without begging. And yes, I said receiving. Because many people are comfortable with wanting, but uncomfortable with receiving. Wanting can feel familiar because it keeps the dream at a distance. Receiving asks you to allow closeness. It asks you to let good things touch you without immediately worrying they will leave. It asks you to stop arguing with kindness, stop minimizing compliments, stop shrinking when support arrives, stop making yourself smaller so no one will be uncomfortable with your light. Have you ever noticed how you can pray for something and then feel frightened when it begins to come near? A relationship becomes possible, and suddenly you question everything about yourself. A new opportunity appears, and the mind lists all the reasons you might fail. A season of peace begins, and you wait for it to collapse. This is not because you are ungrateful. It is because receiving can awaken every old place in you that learned not to trust good things. So your morning practice is not only about attracting, it is about becoming safe enough to receive. It is about teaching the body, slowly and lovingly, that good does not have to be chased. Good can be welcomed. Love does not have to be earned through self-abandonment. Love can be met from wholeness. Abundance does not have to come wrapped in pressure. Abundance can arrive as support, clarity, opportunity, ideas, courage, rest, and the quiet confidence to take the next aligned step. Let this be your first inner instruction today. I do not need to chase what is meant to meet me in truth. I am available for what honors my heart. I am willing to receive without shrinking. Say it softly inside yourself, not as a demand to the universe, but as a kindness to the part of you that has been so tired. Your energy changes when your desire stops being a wound and becomes a direction. A wound says, "I need this to prove I am enough." A direction says, I am enough, and this is where my soul feels called to grow. Feel the difference. One tightens, one opens, one makes you grab, one allows you to move, one places your power outside of you. One returns your power to the center of your chest. This is the difference between chasing and alignment. Chasing often begins with the fear that you are behind. Alignment begins with the remembrance that you can meet this moment fully. Chasing asks, how do I make them choose me? Alignment asks, how do I choose myself so clearly that what cannot honor me falls away? Chasing asks, how do I force the door open? Alignment asks, which door carries peace when I stand before it? Notice your jaw softening as you hear this. Notice if your hands have been holding tension. Let the body participate in this truth. You do not become magnetic by leaving your body and living only in thought. You become magnetic by coming home to the body, to the breath, to the quiet intelligence beneath the noise. Your body is always telling you where you are forcing and where you are flowing. If you have been feeling blocked lately, it may not mean your desire is impossible. It may mean your energy has been wrapped around the outcome so tightly that there is no space for wisdom to move. The clenched hand cannot receive. The defended heart cannot recognize safety. The hurried mind cannot hear subtle guidance. And this is not a reason to criticize yourself. It is an invitation to loosen, gently, the place where fear has been pretending to be devotion. Think of the morning like a doorway. You do not have to carry yesterday's energy through it. You may have done that many times, and that is understandable. But this morning can be different in a small, real way. You can pause at the doorway of the day and decide what version of you enters first. The anxious collector of evidence, the exhausted fixer, the one who checks for rejection before checking for breath, or the one who says, I am willing to begin from love. This does not mean the day will be perfect. It does not mean every person will understand you, every plan will unfold, every desire will appear by sunset. We do not need false promises here. Real spiritual power does not require exaggeration. It is enough to say that when you begin from love, you meet the day differently. You notice differently. You choose differently. You recover more quickly. You stop handing your entire sense of worth to temporary circumstances. And this is where morning listening becomes sacred, not because the words control life, but because they help you return to the version of you who can meet life differently. Listening every morning is a way of tuning the instrument of your inner world before the noise begins. A violin does not become powerful by tightening every string until it breaks. It becomes beautiful when each string is tuned with care. You are no different. There is a frequency to self-respect. There is a frequency to calm faith. There is a frequency to being deeply available without being desperate. People feel it before you explain it. Opportunities meet it because you are no longer walking past them with your eyes fixed only on what is missing. Even your own intuition becomes easier to hear when your inner world is not crowded with self-rejection. Your heart already knows this. There have been moments when you were not chasing and something came easily. A conversation unfolded. A solution appeared. A stranger offered kindness. A creative idea arrived while you were doing something ordinary. You did not force it. You were present enough to receive it. That is a clue. Life often reaches you through presence, not panic. Perhaps today, your morning listening can begin with 3 gentle permissions. Permission to want without shame. Permission to receive without fear. Permission to act without forcing. Wanting without shame means you can admit what your heart longs for without calling yourself greedy, foolish, or unrealistic. Receiving without fear means you can let support come close without immediately preparing for loss. Acting without forcing means you can take the next honest step without demanding that life show you the entire staircase. What would change if you carried those permissions through the day? How would you answer the message? How would you walk into the room? How would you care for your body? How would you speak about your dream? How would you respond if something did not happen immediately? These questions are not small. They are the places where your energy is shaped. A person who feels magnetic is not someone who never doubts. Doubt may still visit. Fear may still knock. Old memories may still try to convince you that the past is the only map. But the magnetic self does not hand the keys over to every passing feeling. The magnetic self listens, breathes, chooses, returns, again and again, returns. Not perfectly, lovingly. Let that become the rhythm of this morning. I return to myself. I return to my worth. I return to the calm center inside me. I return from the fantasy that I must earn love through exhaustion. I return from the belief that delay means denial. I return from the habit of shrinking so life will not ask too much of me. I return. And as you return, you may begin to notice that magnetism is quieter than you thought. It does not always arrive as dramatic confidence. Sometimes it arrives as the first morning you do not check for the thing that used to control your mood. Sometimes it arrives as the first time you let someone be uncertain about you without trying to convince them. Sometimes it arrives as the moment you choose breakfast, sunlight, prayer, movement, or stillness before entering the noise of everyone else's needs. This is magnetic because it says, I matter here too. My energy matters. My peace matters. My body is not a machine for producing outcomes. My heart is not a tool for earning approval. My life is not on hold until one desire arrives. I can love what I want, and I can love myself now. If you have been craving a specific kind of love, it is because your heart is ready to experience deeper reflection of the love you are learning to give yourself. If you have been calling in abundance, It is because some part of you is ready to stop confusing struggle with virtue. If you have been longing for recognition, it is because your gifts are asking to be expressed with courage. If you have been praying for peace, it is because your spirit knows you were never meant to live in constant inner war. Each desire carries information, not proof of lack. Information. Your desire can show you where you are expanding, where you are healing, where you are ready to participate more fully in life. And when you listen each morning from this place, the affirmation is no longer a mask over fear. It becomes a bridge between the part of you that longs and the part of you that already knows. Maybe the words are simple. I am open to good today. I am willing to be guided. I treat myself as someone worthy of love. I allow aligned opportunities to find me. I release the need to chase what cannot meet me with respect. I welcome what is honest, kind, abundant, and true. I move through this day as a person who belongs to themselves. Say words like these slowly. Give them room to enter the body. Do not rush them as though you are trying to complete a task. Let them be like morning light moving across the floor, touching everything gradually, asking nothing to hurry. If one sentence feels hard to believe, soften it. Instead of forcing, I am completely worthy. You might begin with, I am willing to learn that I am worthy. Instead of forcing, everything I want comes instantly. You might say, I am open to receiving what is aligned in the right way and the right time. This is how we honor truth. We do not use affirmation to bully the parts of us that are still healing. We use affirmation to invite them into a kinder room. We speak to the fearful part as we would speak to a child standing at the edge of a garden, unsure whether it is allowed to enter. We do not shout, bloom now. We say, come closer. There is sunlight here. There is room for you here. Some mornings you will feel the words deeply. Other mornings you may feel numb, distracted, skeptical, or sad. This does not mean the practice has failed. It means you are human. It means your inner weather is changing. A cloudy morning is still a morning. The sun is not absent because you cannot see it. Your worth is not absent because you cannot feel it. Keep returning gently without turning the practice into another reason to judge yourself. Here is what I have come to understand. The most magnetic people are not always the loudest, the most polished, the most spiritually fluent, or the most externally successful. They are the ones whose presence says, I am not at war with myself. They have made enough peace inside that others can feel the spaciousness around them. They are not empty of desire. They are not above longing. They have simply stopped using longing as a weapon against their own hearts. That is available to you today. Not as a personality you must perform, but as a relationship you can begin. You can begin by choosing one sentence that becomes your morning anchor. Something simple enough to remember when the day becomes busy. I am available for aligned good. I receive without chasing. I am worthy before it arrives. I meet today from love. Choose the one your body softens around. Your body will tell you. Then, as the day unfolds, return to it. When you feel yourself comparing, return. When you want to force a reply, return. When a delay makes your chest tighten, return. When an opportunity appears and fear says, "Who are you to receive this?" return. Not with anger, with devotion, with the calm repetition of someone lighting the same candle each morning because they know the flame matters. As you move through your day, magnetism begins to look less like waiting for miracles and more like recognizing the doors that match your peace. This is such a beautiful shift, because when you are chasing, every door looks urgent, even low-picked doors, even painful doors, even doors that require you to abandon your own dignity to stand near them. But when you are aligned, you become more discerning. You can feel when something expands you and when something drains you. You can sense when desire is rooted in love and when it is rooted in fear. This discernment is a form of abundance. To know what is not for you is a blessing. To stop begging at a door that keeps closing is freedom. To let silence reveal someone's capacity is wisdom. To notice where your body relaxes is guidance. To choose the path that honors your peace, even when the ego wants the dramatic one, is magnetic in the deepest sense. You may notice in the coming days that your relationship with timing begins to soften. Not because you stop caring, but because you stop treating every delay as a verdict against you. Sometimes life is arranging what your fear cannot see. Sometimes your own readiness is ripening quietly. Sometimes an apparent pause is giving you time to become the person who can hold the very thing you have asked for without losing yourself inside it. This is why the morning matters. Morning is not only a time of day, it is a symbol of beginning again. Every morning, life hands you a small empty bowl and asks, "What will you fill this with first?" Worry will gladly fill it. Old stories will gladly fill it. Other people's opinions will gladly fill it. But so will love, so will gratitude, so will intention, so will the steady remembrance that you are not here to chase life, but to participate with it. Place one hand gently wherever your body wants comfort, if that feels right. Maybe your heart, maybe your belly, maybe your lap. Feel the warmth of your own presence. Let this be enough for a moment. You are not trying to become someone else. You are allowing the truest part of you to stop hiding beneath urgency. From this place, say inwardly, "I am becoming safe to receive. I am becoming honest enough to desire. I am becoming calm enough to recognize what is aligned. I am becoming brave enough to act when the door is real. I am becoming loving enough to stop chasing what asks me to leave myself behind. There is power in that word becoming. It does not demand instant perfection. It honors the path. It lets you grow without shame. A seed does not apologize for needing darkness before it breaks open. The dawn does not rush because the world is impatient. The river does not hate itself for turning. And you too are allowed to become in rhythms that respect your soul. Maybe this morning you do not need to ask, how do I get everything I want? Maybe the softer question is, who am I becoming as I move toward what I want? Am I becoming more loving or more afraid, more present or more consumed, more truthful or more performative, more peaceful or more attached to proving something? These questions are not meant to scold you. They are lanterns. They show you where your energy wants to come back into integrity. Because very thing you want, at its highest essence, is probably not just the thing itself. It is the feeling you believe the thing will give you. Love may mean safety, companionship, being seen. Money may mean freedom, relief, dignity, choice. Recognition may mean belonging, expression, proof that your gifts matter. Peace may mean finally being able to exhale. When you understand the essence beneath the desire, you can begin living in harmony with it now. You can practice safety before the relationship arrives. You can practice freedom in the way you make one choice today. You can practice dignity in how you speak to yourself. You can practice expression by sharing one honest piece of your gift. You can practice exhaling before the entire future is solved. This does not replace the desire. It prepares you to receive it without making it responsible for saving you. And when the desire is no longer responsible for saving you, it can meet you more cleanly. It can become part of your life, not the entire foundation of your identity. This is a profound relief. You no longer have to grip so tightly. You no longer have to turn every sign into a test. You no longer have to measure your spiritual worth by how quickly something appears. You can live, love, choose, listen, and allow. Let that settle for a moment. You can want deeply and still be whole. You can be patient and still be powerful. You can release control and still take aligned action. You can be magnetic without performing confidence every second of the day. You can have tender places and still be radiant. You can be healing and still be worthy of receiving beautiful things. Today, allow your morning listening to become a homecoming. Not a transaction, not a bargain with life, not a frantic attempt to fix your energy so something will finally happen. A homecoming, a return to the inner place where you remember that you are not separate from the good you seek. You are learning to meet it. You are learning to recognize it. You are learning to stop turning away from it because old fear says it cannot be trusted. And if old fear rises today, bless it gently. Do not make fear the enemy. Fear is often love wearing armor. It is trying to prevent another wound. You can say to it, I understand why you are here. I know what you are trying to protect. And today, we are learning another way. We are learning that protection can include openness. We are learning that wisdom can include softness. We are learning that I can be careful with my heart without closing it completely. This is the maturity of magnetism, not blind positivity, not pretending, not spiritual performance. A mature magnetism can say, I have been hurt and I am still available for love. I have known lack and I am still available for abundance. I have been disappointed and I am still available for beautiful surprises. I have doubted myself and I am still willing to stand in my worth again. Can you feel how different that is from forcing yourself to be positive? This is not fake light. This is earned light. This is the light that has walked through shadow and still chooses to rise. This is the morning inside you that keeps returning no matter how long the night has felt. And somewhere deep inside, you recognize this. You recognize the part of you that has not given up. So this morning, let yourself become still enough to be found by what has been trying to reach the calmest part of you. Let the day find you breathing. Let love find you present. Let clarity find you unclenched. Let opportunity find you living, not waiting. Let abundance find you honoring what you already have while opening to what is next. You do not have to run toward everything today. Some things are allowed to come closer as you become more yourself. Some answers are allowed to arrive after you stop demanding them from every silence. Some doors are allowed to open when you no longer need them to prove your worth. Some blessings are allowed to feel natural, not shocking, because you have practiced becoming a person who can receive good without fear. Carry this with you. I receive without chasing. I desire without abandoning myself. I act without forcing. I trust without going numb. I open without losing my center. Let these words become the quiet music beneath your morning. Let them follow you into ordinary moments, into washing the cup, stepping outside, answering the call, doing the work, resting the body, choosing the next kind thought. And when the world becomes loud, return to the simplest truth. Your worth is not waiting somewhere in the future. Your worth is here, breathing with you now. The good you seek is not insulted by your peace. What is truly aligned with you will not require the death of your self-respect. What is meant to nourish your life can meet you as you stand more fully in love. This morning is enough to begin. This breath is enough to return. This one loving choice is enough to shift the direction of your energy. Not because everything must happen at once, but because every true change begins somewhere quiet. A thought softened, a hand unclenched, a heart remembered, a soul listening again. So let the morning hold you before you hold the day. Let your own presence be the first gift you receive. Let the part of you that has been chasing finally sit down beside the part of you that has always known. And together, let them watch the light arrive, not because they forced it, not because they earned it, but because dawn has always known how to come.